This is Advisorpedia's Power Your Advice podcast, and I'm Doug Heikkinen. Today we have Courtney Tsai with us, who's a senior manager of Charitable Strategies Group at DAF Giving 360. Courtney is diving into donor advised funds and how DAF Giving 360 makes charitable giving more easy and more effective. Courtney, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Doug. Great to be here.
For those who aren't familiar, can you explain what a donor advised fund account is?
Absolutely, Doug. So donor advised funds, or DAFs, provide a simple, tax-smart way to give to charity. They're like a charitable investment account, with the main purpose of helping donors to maximize their support of the charities and causes that are most important to them. Donors can contribute cash, securities, or other non-cash assets, and they're eligible for a charitable deduction in the year that they make the gift. After the gift is complete, the donor retains two main advisory privileges. First, the right to advise on investments in the donor advisement account. And that account can enjoy tax-free growth over time. And second, the right to advise on grant making. Donors can recommend grants from their accounts to other eligible public charities of their choice at any time.
Can you tell us a little bit about DAF Giving 360?
Sure. DAF Giving 360 is one of the largest national donor advised funds. As an independent 501c3 public charity, our mission is to increase charitable giving in the U.S. We do this by offering DAFs and related philanthropic resources that make charitable giving efficient and effective. In 2024, DAF Giving 360 donors granted more than $7.7 billion to charity, with more than 1.3 million grants to over 151,000 charities. That averages to more than $21 million to charity each day. And since our inception 25 years ago, our donors have granted more than $40 billion to charity, supporting over 270,000 charities.
Wow, $40 billion to charity since inception is an incredible milestone. What's your role in supporting advisors and their clients?
I am part of the Charitable Strategies Group as a subject matter expert on gifts of complex assets and other complex giving strategies. We are a team of professionals. We specialize in knowledge about non-cash asset contributions to charities, and we aim to provide helpful information to advisors, their clients, and individual donors to make informed decisions about their charitable transactions. Donating appreciated non-cash assets that have been held for more than 1 year is a great strategy for advisors with charitably minded clients to be familiar with. It's popular among donors. In fiscal year 2024, about 64% of our donor contributions were non-cash assets.
Can you please explain to our listeners what non-cash assets are?
Of course, a non-cash asset is essentially any asset that isn't cash. A few common examples are publicly traded stock, private business interests, commercial or residential real estate, cryptocurrency, life insurance, and collectibles, such as fine art.
What's the main reason you recommend that donors gift non-cash assets instead of cash?
Great question. And here's the simple answer. When a taxpayer makes a gift of cash to charity, they're eligible for one tax benefit. That's the charitable deduction for the value of the cash, and that's available to them only if they itemize. Meanwhile, gifts of non-cash assets that, again, have been held for more than 1 year provide the taxpayer with two potential tax benefits. One, the tax deduction for the fair market value of the asset, which must be substantiated by qualified appraisal. And two, donors can potentially eliminate the capital gains tax that would otherwise incur if they had sold the assets themselves and donated the proceeds. The capital gains tax rate is either 15 or 20%. And this is why we promote gifting non-cash assets, because it increases the amount available for charity by up to 20%.
Those two tax benefits alone seem like simple, compelling reasons to gift non-cash assets. I'd like to dig into a little more specific strategies. What is one non-cash asset that donors often express interest in?
Well, the first that comes to mind is donating private business interests, such as private C Corps, private S Corps, private LLCs, and limited partnership interests. One significant consideration for this strategy is that business gifts require due diligence by the charity. For example, the company's governing documents, such as shareholder agreements and bylaws, must be reviewed to understand whether there are any transfer restrictions or embedded liabilities. It takes time for the charity to do its due diligence review, get acceptance of the gift, and complete the paperwork for a valid charitable transfer. Now, there can be complexities on the donor side as well, such as indebted interests that could trigger negative tax consequences for the donor and the receiving charity. It is very important that the donor have independent tax counsel, as the charity should not be providing tax or legal advice to the donor.
Courtney, what other guidance should donors and their advisors seek when considering this strategy?
Advisors should encourage their donor clients to work with a CPA to fully understand their tax situation when considering gifting complex assets. It's important to consider these donations on a case-by-case basis and to understand when they're right for your client. Donating a privately held business interest might not make sense for one client, while being an extremely effective strategy for another. At DAF Giving 360, we help walk advisors and donors through the process, and we alleviate the complexity for both advisors and their clients by leveraging our expertise from start to finish.
Another non-cash asset you mentioned earlier was real estate. What kind of real estate can be donated, and which donors are good candidates for this strategy?
Whether it's a family home, income-producing property, undeveloped land, or commercial property, donating real estate directly to charity is another great way for advisors to help their clients maximize their donations. The best candidates for this strategy will be donors who have held property for more than 1 year and have seen the property appreciate significantly.
Do you have any tips for those who are interested in donating real estate?
We recommend this strategy for debt-free property. If there is a mortgage on gifted property, it can be subject to IRS bargain sale rules, which can generate capital gains tax and lower the value of the deduction. The debt could also be taxable to the charity when the property is sold. I think it goes without saying, but problematic properties generally do not make great gifts. If the client is having a hard time selling that property, they should refrain from gifting unmarketable property to an unsuspecting charity. That includes timeshares. These are just a few considerations, and we're happy to talk through specific cases with advisors so that they may play a key role in guiding clients on effective options for gifting their property.
Are there any other non-cash assets that you see often among DAF Giving 360 clients?
Yes, restricted stock. We see lots of gifts of restricted stock, which are stock that cannot be transferred or sold to the public, including by charities, until certain legal and/or regulatory conditions have been met. And like the others we discuss, this comes with its own considerations. We have a team of experts here at DAF Giving 360 who work with many company executives and advisors on such gifts of restricted stock.
We discussed why non-cash assets can be great for clients to donate from a tax perspective. But how do the charities handle the assets? Can all charities accept non-cash assets such as restricted stock?
That's a great question, Doug. And the short answer is no. Not every charity is equipped with the infrastructure to accept non-cash assets. That's where DAFs come in as a great option for clients looking to donate non-cash assets, because charities like DAF Giving 360 have the resources and expertise to evaluate, receive, process, and liquidate the assets. And by contributing to a DAF, clients can still donate to the charities of their choice through their DAF account, even if that particular end charity can't accept non-cash assets directly.
DAF Giving 360 has many resources available to help donors and their advisors leverage tax-smart strategies to maximize their charitable giving. Where is the best place to start?
For advisors with clients considering donating non-cash assets, the DAF Giving 360 Charitable Strategies Group has specialized knowledge about non-cash asset contributions to charities. Our team stands ready to support you from the initial consultation through asset evaluation, receipt, processing, and sale. We strive to provide unbiased guidance while providing communication every step of the way to help you and your clients make informed decisions. We also have a wealth of online resources, including articles that outline considerations for various non-cash assets.
Courtney, what else? Is there anything else you'd like to share?
So I want to reemphasize how non-cash assets can be an extremely effective and tax-smart way to give to charity, Given the complexity and the various consideration for these assets, advisors play an important role in guiding clients on options that are best suited for each unique situation. I also want to emphasize the time that these gifts can take, and we would encourage you to come to DAF Giving 360 early on in these gifting conversations so that we can talk through the process up ahead. We are here to help.
Great information, Courtney. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Doug.
To learn more about DAF Giving 360, please visit dafgiving360.org. Please follow us for timely updates on LinkedIn and Facebook at Advisorpedia. For everybody at Advisorpedia, our producer Julia Smallin, our engineer Tori Miller, and the Power Your Advice podcast team, this is Doug Heikkinen.